What do you want people to get out of this book? What do you want them to know about you?
I want them to know the truth. I loved.
Were there things that you were hesitant to talk about, things that you didn't want to visit?
Definitely hesitant. You have to understand, I stopped giving interviews to the press because they got so much wrong. I fell in love with her, and her voice is spectacular. But when I sang with her, I was noticing her fragility, and she held my hand through our duet. I wondered why.
Secrets can't be kept forever. It seems Hollywood didn't get this, as they've committed a lot of horrors, which are gradually coming to light. Legendary actress and singer Barbra Streisand recently joined the long list of celebrities who revealed harsh truths Hollywood is hiding from fans. What exactly did Barbra reveal? This video will look into that, so stick around as we delve in. 81-year-old Barbra Streisand is a renowned actress and singer who has won 14 Grammy Awards. Recently, Barbra announced her retirement from showbiz when she released her autobiography, My Name is Barbra. In an interview about her autobiography, she shed light on the often tightly controlled lives of female celebrities in the entertainment industry, drawing a clear example from her friend and fellow legend, Judy Garland. According to her, Judy suffered a harrowing fate at the hands of a ruthless Hollywood executive, which coupled with other problems that led to her sudden demise at the age of 47. In an interview with CBS News' Gayle King, Streisand said, "I fell in love with her, and her voice is spectacular. But when I sang with her, I was noticing her fragility. As she held my hand through our duet, I wondered why she was nervous." During the show, there were rumors of a rivalry between both stars, which Barbra cleared. People were looking for some sort of rivalry between us, and when they couldn't find anything, they made it up. "I found Judy to be completely generous," she wrote. The duo became friends after Streisand's appearance on The Judy Garland Show. "We spoke on the phone, and she came to one of the rare parties I gave at my New York apartment. I think she arrived late, and I remember her saying something I never quite understood. 'Don't let them do to you what they did to me,'" Streisand wrote. She added that she should have asked her what she meant, but she didn't, trying not to appear too nosy. Who were the controllers Judy was referring to? They are none other than Hollywood executives. Gerald Clark, Garland's biographer, shed more light on this. In his write-up, Judy should have been a wealthy woman all her life, but things didn't go that way. Despite starring in the iconic and immensely successful film The Wizard of Oz, which earned her an Academy Award at the age of 16, Judy Garland's life didn't translate into wealth in her later years. Instead of enjoying financial prosperity, she found herself destitute and on the brink of homelessness in the late 60s. Despite the cultural significance of her portrayal as Dorothy Gale, Garland's life was corrosive as she struggled with financial troubles, owed substantial back taxes to the IRS, and sustained herself by earning $100 a night singing in bars. In her 40s, she battled not only with financial woes, but also a myriad of health issues, leaving her in a state of despair, contemplating taking her life, and broken down by the challenges life had thrown her way. Garland was extraordinarily talented, having the sonorous voice of an adult while still a young girl. She was signed at the age of 13 years old by Louis B. Mayer of Metro-Goldwyn-Mayer, the head of Hollywood's largest and most prestigious movie studio. While at MGM, Garland was forced to adapt to grueling schedules. In her 7-year contract, she was forever cast as the girl next door, making 2 to 3 movies at a time. 3 hours of early morning school were always followed by a single rehearsal and then shooting. This marathon wouldn't finish until 5 in the morning, so she sustained herself with pills. At age 15, she'd become dependent on them. Garland got her big break at age 16, where she portrayed Dorothy Gale in The Wizard of Oz. Originally, Garland wasn't supposed to play Dorothy, but the studio tried to make her look as young as possible. She was forced to lose weight, with the studio putting her on a daily diet of chicken soup, black coffee, 80 cigarettes, diet pills, and amphetamines. Her waist was corseted, and her nose was fixed up with prosthetics. She was forced to change from herself just to cast a movie. They even employed individuals to snatch food right from her hands. She was denied the freedom to eat what she desired, except for black coffee and 80 cigarettes daily to suppress her appetite. Even her sleep was manipulated, as she was given pills to wake up in the morning after being induced into a slumber the night before. Although the intention was not to make her dependent on the pills, but to quicken film production, the industry had to continue. What was worse was that young Judy desired to stop the medication, but the executives would never allow it. As if that was not enough, Clark wrote that Garland was treated poorly by some powerful Hollywood executives. According to him, Judy was frequently approached as a teenager. Mayer is said to have groped her in his office. Mayer called her the little hunchback for her height and also complimented her while she sang. Whenever he did that, Mayer would touch her inappropriately. This happened so many times until Judy grew to put a stop to it. "Mr. Mayer, don't you ever do that again," she finally dared to say. However, Mayer became upset, asking how Garland could reject him when he claimed he loved her. Another executive, which Judy failed to identify, summoned her to his office as he had done with others. He bluntly told her to sleep with him, demanding a swift yes or no. Upon her refusal, the man erupted into a fit of rage, threatening to ruin her career at any cost. Garland's ex-husband also claimed the actors who played Oz's Munchkins also treated her poorly. They would make Judy's life miserable on set by putting their hands under her dress, recalled Sidney Luft in his memoir, Judy and I, My Life with Judy Garland. The reoccurring substance use, coupled with an extreme diet, took a toll on Judy. She became excessively thin, suffered hair loss, and seemed unable to seek help. By the late 1960s, her drug use and emotional struggles drained her health and finances.
Did you see her as tragic the way I see her? I mean, I felt her life was so sad.
I did. And
Ultimately, Judy was found dead by her last husband, Mickey Deans, in their Belgravia home on June 22, 1969. He discovered her slumped on the toilet, hands still holding up her head. The Scotland Yard autopsy revealed that Judy Garland's cause of death was barbiturate poisoning from overdose. Could you believe, despite being the lead character in one of the most epic movies, Garland suffered so much, was paid far less than other casts? She only made $500 weekly, while Scarecrow Ray Bolger and Tin Man Jack Haley were making $3,000 each. The Cowardly Lion wasn't far behind them with a $2,500 paycheck per week. The only cast who earned less than Judy was the dog who played Toto, who earned $125. This story has now been backed by Streisand, who shared her early experience of being a female in the industry.
Yentl, I went to a class at USC in gender studies. And, you know, I have a center at UCLA now that is going to study and starting to study the dynamics of power between men and women.
She narrated the incident with the legendary Charlie Chaplin's son, Sidney, when they both starred in Funny Girl on Broadway in the 60s. Barbra said the incident contributed to her stage fright and made her stop playing concerts for 27 years. She recalled her fraught relationship with Sidney Chaplin, who had a crush on her. When she rejected his advances, he turned his back on her. The experience left her flustered and contributed to her quitting live performances. Does it end there? No. Barbra encountered other problematic male collaborators throughout her career. These included Walter Matthau, who humiliated her on the set of Hello, Dolly by screaming, "I have more talent in my farts than you have in your whole body." My Name is Barbra listed other men who became entranced by Streisand, such as Omar Sharif, who wrote a long, passionate letter begging her to dump her husband and come to him. There was Prince Charles, now King Charles, who described her as devastatingly attractive. In a 2012 interview with CNN's Piers Morgan, Streisand talked about another time she rejected Marlon Brando's advances. She said Brando wanted to take her to the desert to see the wildflower and sleep over in a ghost town. She added that she was a nice Jewish girl, so she said, "I can't stay overnight with you. I will go with you for the day."
I want to fuck you.
And I said to him, "That sounds horrible." And then, because it was so...
When Barbra first came to the UK in 1966, Newsweek magazine said some insultive words to her in a praising manner. Barbra Streisand represents a triumph of aura over appearance. Her nose is too long, her bosom too small, her hips too wide, yet when she steps in front of a microphone, she transcends generations and cultures. It was after she became a superstar that the focus changed. She suddenly became the Babylonian queen with millions of records sold, 10 Golden Globe Awards, 2 Oscars, and 5 Emmys for her acting and songwriting prowess. However, Streisand isn't one to forget what happened before all the fame. Even after all these years, I'm still hurt by the insults and can't quite believe the praise, she wrote in her new autobiography. She hopes her book corrects the record. It was the only way to have some control over my life, she says. This is my legacy. I wrote my story. I don't have to do any more interviews after this. Who would believe things like this have been happening in the film industry? Unfortunately, these perpetrators go scot-free. With these secrets leaking out to the public, higher-ups in the industry are sure to be careful now.